everyone, this is Miss Jessie. Today we are going to learn about the different uses of the relative pronouns that and which. Both pronouns perform the same grammatical function. They begin a dependent clause that further provides an explanation for an independent clause. Let's look at some examples. Janet wants to grow the vegetables that she'll eat most often. Here we see that Janet only wants to grow specific vegetables, the ones she'll eat most often. The dependent clause provides more information for the specific vegetables that she wants to grow. Are we following along? Let's look at another example. Andy loves his bike, which used to belong to his father. Here, the relative clause tells us a bit more information about the bike. It used to belong to his father. But you'll notice something very different about the two examples. One has a comma, and one doesn't. The simple explanation for this difference is that which is used for inessential relative clauses, and that is used for essential relative clauses. Let's see why. In the first example, Janet wants to grow the vegetables that she'll eat most often. The relative clause is necessary for us to understand exactly which vegetables Janet plans to grow. Without the relative clause, we only know that she's going to plant vegetables, but we don't know exactly which ones. Because the relative clause is necessary for us to understand exactly what Janet plans to grow, we can't separate the relative clause from the main clause with a comma. Now, let's look at the second example again. Andy loves his bike, which used to belong to his father. Although we have certainly learned more about Andy's bike from the relative clause, it isn't really necessary to know, is it? After all, we understand that Andy loves his bike, even if we don't know it used to belong to his father. In this case, the relative clause is inessential, so we should use it with a comma. Let's look at two more examples. The dog ate the biscuit, which he just found, in only 5 minutes. Here, the point of the sentence is to tell us how long it took him to eat the biscuit. The fact that he just found the biscuit isn't really essential to the meaning, is it? So we'll use commas around the relative clause. But in the sentence, Brian only watches movies that are funny, we can see that the relative clause gives us necessary information to understand exactly which movies Brian likes to watch, so we shouldn't use commas. Well, that's it for today, everyone. See you soon.